Good Wednesday Eve, coaches. Happy Wednesday Eve. Come one, come all. Tonight we've got a juicy topic for you. We're going to talk about money mindset. This is an often requested topic I get. We're going to be talking about how to master money mindset to sell high-ticket coaching packages. So come on in today. Give me a hashtag live if you're with us live. Give me a hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. So the question is, why aren't you charging what you're worth? That's the question. And the answer is, it's that stuff that's going on between your ears that is holding you back. So we're going to be talking about that today. As you guys are coming in, I'm going to hop into the Facebook group and make sure I'm giving a little tag to the video so our group members can join us. All right, I am back after a little summer rest and ready to pick things back up with our Wednesday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Facebook Lives that happen every week in this Facebook group. So we're back from the summer and we are ready to get back to our Wednesday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time lives. So let's talk about money mindset. All right, I ask you guys the question, why do you think you are not charging what you're worth? And as coaches, we know the answer is it's that stuff that's going on between your ears that is holding you back, right? So today, the goal is let's fix that. Right? Let's fix that. Let's get a hold on that. Let's talk about that today. It's that stuff that's going on between your ears. Now, I want to make sure that the audio works. Drop into the comments, yes, if you can hear me. I'm going to, on my phone, just check it out and make sure. Let's see here. Okay. Looks good on my end. Okay, that's good. All right. So today's training, we're going to cover a couple things. One, we're going to be doing some exercises that are designed to strengthen your money mindset so that you feel confident in selling a high-ticket coaching package. So we're literally going to be doing exercises that you can either do live, do while you watch the replay, or take with you to do later on. Okay, that's one. The second thing we're going to be covering today is you're going to learn to truly own and charge your worth. Own your worth, charge your worth as a coach, right? You guys are highly skilled coaches. We've got people from all different kinds of certifications in here, and I want you to learn what it takes to truly own your worth and charge your worth as a coach. Last thing we're going to talk about today is you're going to walk away with money mindset affirmations that you can use, and I recommend that you use every single day so you can actually get behind your pricing, right? And for some of you, that's going to mean raising your pricing. So let's get started. Please bring your questions. I go live so that you can ask questions while I'm here live. So feel free to drop them into the chat. As always, I'm here not just to be a talking head, but to offer any hot seat coaching that you guys need as questions arise. All right. Again, as you're coming in, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching live, a hashtag replay. If you're catching the replay, my name is Betty Kemp, a business coach consultant for coaches, 3-time member of the Forbes Coaches Council, ranked one of the top coaches in Denver and again in Tampa by Influence Digest, and awarded one of the top 10 business coaches to follow by Life Coach Magazine. I'm the founder of the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy, also the Coaching Business Launchpad, where we help corporate renegades strategically transition from their 9-to-5 by repackaging their genius into a six-figure coaching business. So the idea is we are replacing your corporate income with a coaching business, and we're doing it strategically. All right. As always, if you'd like additional coaching support with your business, check it out. There's a link in the copy of this post where you can apply for a discovery call with me. And that's really where I get to learn about you, your business, your challenges, your goals. You can ask me any questions that you might have, and we can see if we're a fit, and talk about the different programs we have and which might be your best fit. All right, let's get to it. So exercise number 1 that I want to talk about today, when we think about how do I master the money mindset to sell a high ticket coaching package. Exercise number 1, create high value in your coaching package. Right? That's exercise number 1. So write that down, right? This isn't just things that are like coming out of the sky. We tangibly, right, in order to believe that what we have is valuable, we need to create something valuable as well. So exercise number 1, create a highly valuable coaching package. Right now, this is part 2, module 2 of the Corporate to Six-Figure Coach Academy program that I teach. It's all about creating that highly valuable high ticket coaching package. And the idea behind this is a couple of things. Once you create that, okay, and it's going to be part signature method, you're going to have your own unique, trademarked signature methodology of how you get people from pain to dream. And then we're going to create some deliverables, right? That are tools and resources that your clients can use as they're on that journey. Okay. So there's those 2 pieces of it. And once we create that, and you can see for yourself, we actually assign values to each piece of the program you've created, then both you and your prospects can see the value, right, of the coaching package as a whole. And what happens is, and I see this happen with my own clients, is this is where you'll be able to mentally get behind your package price. You'll be able to mentally get behind your package price. You have to see the value first before you can expect prospects to see the value, right? You've got to see the value first. Now, if you need help with this, right, if this is the part where you're struggling, Betty, I just have a 10-session coaching package. I don't know what you mean by creating value. You can either drop value in the comments, and I will send you a free training on creating a highly valuable coaching package. Or even better, just reach out to me, right? Book a call with me. There's, again, a link in the copy of this post. Book a call with me. We can talk through it, right? I can specifically talk through with you what it means to create that highly valuable coaching package for your specific expertise. Or just shoot me a Facebook DM and we can talk about it. So that's number 1. I want you to think about when it comes to that money mindset, how do I believe, right? Get behind selling this higher ticket coaching package. Number 1 is create the value in the package so you believe yourself in that value. Exercise 2, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but this is why coaches need coaches, limiting beliefs. Let's talk limiting beliefs, right? When we think about money mindset, and we think about what holds us back from charging our worth, right? Limiting beliefs can often be something we are struggling with. For me, I was certified at IPEC, the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching. If I have any IPECians watching either the live or the replay, go ahead and drop into the chat. IPEC, let me know if I have any IPECians with me. And I only bring that up right now to say that, some of the tools we receive to help our clients, they're so valuable, but sometimes after getting certified, we forget that we have these tools. And they're not only to help our clients, we can also use them to help ourselves. And, again, like I said, this is why coaches need coaches. We have the tools, but we don't use them on ourselves. One tool that my certification program taught us about was an exercise to challenge our limiting beliefs. And I would venture to say that many coaching programs, that's what coaching is, right? Challenging those limiting beliefs. So let's talk about it as it relates to money mindset. All right. Now, a limiting belief is, let's just define it first before we go wild. It's something that you accept about life, about your career, about your coaching business, about your world, or about the people in it. It's something that you've accepted, or a story that you're like, saying this is the way it is, that limits you in some way, right? It's a narrative that limits you in some way. A limiting belief keeps you safe and small. And these beliefs may hold you back from taking chances and keep you blind to opportunities in your path, right? So here's my question for you guys watching this training today. Here's my question, and I want you to write this down, share it in the chat, or just at minimum, think about this. What limiting belief are you holding around raising your rates? Okay? What limiting belief are you holding around raising your coaching rates? Or maybe you have a couple limiting beliefs around raising your rates. Feel free to share. Or at minimum, I want you to ponder that. I want you to ponder that right now. Hey, Tanya, thanks for popping in. I want you to ponder that right now. Now, as you think about different limiting beliefs that you think might be standing in your way of why you're not, charging your worth with your coaching package, as you're thinking about, what you might be believing that's holding you back around charging your worth, I want you to select the one limiting belief you believe is currently limiting you the most as it pertains to raising your rates. Okay. And then I want you to go through this line of questioning. I'm about to give you a line of questioning to use. Now, for those of you who went to IPEC, you'll remember this as a powerful exercise we use with our clients. We also need to use it with ourselves. For some of you that were certified elsewhere, I'm pretty sure you have some form of this as well in your toolkit. Right? But it's very important. We also use this on ourselves as it pertains to money mindset. So here we go. I'm going to give you some questions. Feel free to write these down. And then I want you to go back and deep dive into these questions after this training. Okay, so get ready, write this down. I talk fast. So if you miss one, please drop into the chat. Tell me, which number you need me to repeat, and I'm happy to repeat it or drop that number into the chat. So the first question, now we've chosen our limiting belief that we think is holding us back around raising our rates, charging out what we're worth. The first question I want you to ponder, how true is that belief really? Right? We're taking it like it's truth. So the first question is, how true is that belief really? Write that question down, write it down. Okay. Number 2, what evidence do you have to support that belief? Right. So when you have a limiting belief and we're just accepting it as truth, right? I'm going to ask you, number 2, what evidence do you have to support that belief? Right? Nobody will buy at these rates. What evidence do you have to support that belief? Write that down. Question number 3, write this down. Question number 3, where did you get that idea from? So there's this narrative you've created in your head, right? But it came from somewhere, right? This is where you shut your eyes and you really think about the origin of that belief. Where did it come from? Is this something your parents instilled upon you? Something in school that happened to you? The list goes on and on. But where did you get that idea from? Write that question down. Question 4, write this down. How has that belief affected you? Right? How has that belief affected you? So by taking this belief out of the sky and grasping it and saying, this is mine, and this, I'm accepting this to be true. The question 4 is, how has that belief affected you? Right? Now, question number 5, please write this down. And I love this question. Write this down. And again, we're thinking about money mindset as it pertains to our coaching business, right? Why are we not charging our worth, right? Question number 5, when we think about the limiting belief we're clinging to on why we aren't charging our worth, why does that belief have to be true for you, right? We're making a choice. This belief is a choice. I can either pluck it out of the sky and say it's mine, or I can let it pass by, right? I can acknowledge it and choose otherwise. So the question is, again, write this down. Why does that belief have to be true for you, right? And I think that's one of the most powerful, important questions right there. And I encourage you to think about that one right now, right? And feel free, if you're watching this live or the replay, I know as I'm getting back into my lives after a couple months in the summer off, some of you guys are going to be slowly trickling in here with the replays and coming live. But I encourage you to either drop that into the chat or write that down. Why does that belief have to be true for you? For the limiting belief you choose around raising your rates, why does that belief have to be true for you? Number 6, how can you let that belief go? So we've got the belief and we've acknowledged it. There it is. We've got it. We're not going to deny it's there. So now we're making another choice. And question 6 is, how can you let that belief go? How can you release it and let it float back into the sky? Right? Think about that. And question number 6, how can you let that belief go? Another super important question. Whatever your limiting belief is around charging your worth, right? How can you let that belief go? And last question, number 7, because now we're going to take action, right? This isn't just like airy fairy, thinking about this. Let's do something with it. Number 7, how can you put that into action immediately, right? We've determined what needs to happen for us to let it go. Let the belief go. And number 7 is, how can you put that into action immediately? All right. I hope you've caught all those. If any of those questions you missed, just drop into the chat. Betty, I missed one, or can you put them into the chat? And I'm happy to. I want you to come back to those questions again and again and again. Anytime you start doubting yourself or your rates or your worth or what it's going to take to make your coaching business work, come back to that exercise again and again. Okay. So far we've covered 2 different exercises that are going to help you strengthen that money mindset. Exercise 1 is create a highly valuable coaching package so you can get behind what you're selling. You got to be the first to believe in yourself. Exercise 2 is to tackle those limiting beliefs. Because if you show up and you're not confident in yourself and what you're selling, how could we expect anybody else to be confident in that? All right, so exercise number 2, we've now covered limiting beliefs. Exercise number 3, and we've got 4 exercises, so there's 2 more here. And exercise number 3 is fun. This is journaling prompts. This is something you can do for those of you who journal. These are journaling prompts that you can do over time. Okay, these are meant to strengthen your money mindset so that when you state, this is my price, and the price feels a little bit scary for you, right? But when you state, this is my price, you can mentally get behind it. And I want to encourage you once again, the journaling prompts I'm about to give you, you can come back to again and again. But let's play with some of them right now. Let's get into it. So journaling prompt number 1, and I want you to, again, I hope that you're writing these down so that you can come back to them. Maybe I'll drop some of these in the chat. So journaling prompt number 1, list all the reasons you are qualified as a coach in your field. I'm going to drop that. Let's see if I can drop it in the comments. If Facebook wants to be nice to me. And here we go. Thanks, Facebook. Okay. Looks like so far so good. So list all the reasons you are qualified as a coach in your field. I'll give you an example here. Okay. So for myself, if I'm like, okay, all right, what is it about me? Why am I qualified, right, to sell this package? I might say, I have over a decade experience as a corporate communications leader for various Fortune 500 companies. I am well versed on exactly what it takes to create compelling and engaging content that will inspire a consumer to act. And that is exactly what it takes to build a six-figure online coaching business. And that is exactly what I did when I started off as a coach, and that is exactly what I teach in my program. Okay, so I want you to think about it, guys. Give me a reason why you are qualified as a coach in your field. And again, feel free to drop that into the chat, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching it as a replay. Let's take a minute to brag. Give me a reason. Why are you qualified as a coach in your field? Okay, journaling prompt number 2. What is the transformation you're giving? Coaching is transformative change. Okay, this isn't just a new habit. It's transformative change. So what is the transformation you're giving? Why are the results that you are giving worth what you want to charge? Why are the results that you give worth what you want to charge? And again, I'm going to drop some of these into the chat so that it's a little bit easier for you guys to take away these as journaling prompts. So again, I want you to think about what's the first thing that comes up. And by the way, some of you, if you don't have a niche yet, it can be challenging, right? Well, Betty, I don't know the transformation. I'm working with everybody on everything. That's a whole new topic, the niche topic. There is a link next to the video. You can check it out. I have a choose your niche and nail your messaging mini coaching package. It's like a mini so that you can just knock out your niche and your messaging and be done with it. So you can check that out. You don't need to book a call for that. The price is right on the page for the choose your niche. You can check that out. And here's why I bring up the niche. When you think about what's the transformation you're giving from a marketing standpoint, right? Having a niche, having an expertise, it's much easier to say, this is the transformation I give. This is the sandbox I play in. This is my area of expertise. Okay. And also, why are the results that you give worth what you want to charge? So if you're saying, I've got this coaching package, it's X amount of dollars, right? It has to be crystal clear to the prospect you're talking to that they understand and they see the value, right? And they get it, that the results you give are worth what you want to charge. Okay, again, example. I am helping my clients make a strategic transition from their corporate 9 to 5. I say that with quotes, 9 to 5. We all know it's like 8 to 9, 8 to 10 sometimes. And from that strategic transition, we are repackaging their genius that they already have, right? And we are going to build a coaching business that replaces their 6-figure income. We're replacing or exceeding that corporate income, right? So that's the transformation that I'm helping my clients achieve. That is life changing, right? I have clients that have hit that 6-figure mark again and again and again, right? Year after year, selling anywhere from 14K packages. I had a client sell a 55K package, right? My point is that gives them more than money, even freedom. freedom and time to spend with their families, right? An ability to do a job they love, they're passionate about. Coaching, that is priceless. Okay. So again, you guys can see how passionate I get about talking about this stuff because I believe in this. This is my mission, is to help you guys who are incredible coaches get out there and get in front of your people. People need you. So my question to you all, right? When we think about your money mindset, what is the transformation you're giving people? And if you're not sure, now's the time. Drop it into the chat, DM me, book a call with me. We need to figure that out. What's the transformation you're giving? Why are the results you give worth what you want to charge? We need to nail that part. This is part of your money mindset. Once you understand that, you're going to sit up a little taller. You're going to feel good about it. Okay, prompt number 3, journaling prompt, another journaling prompt. I want you to go back in time to when you were struggling with what your clients are currently struggling with. So close your eyes and think about your area of expertise in coaching and go back in time. Most of us are coaching a former version of ourselves, right? And think about when you were struggling with the same thing your clients are currently struggling with. What would it have been worth to you back then to have help overcoming your pain in order to achieve your goal? Most of us are coaching former versions of ourselves, right? What would it have been worth to you back then to have help overcoming your pain and achieving your goal? Now, again, I'll stick that into the chat so you guys can make sure to, I want you to take these journaling prompts with you, okay? Again, I'm using myself as an example here. I think about back, not often, but I think about back when I was in my corporate job and miserable. I would have paid anything, literally anything, to have somebody help me strategically transition, right, from the toxic corporate job into creating a business I loved. I didn't even know that was possible. You know what it would have meant for me to have an expert say, take my hand, let me show you how to do it? Okay? Really powerful money mindset prompt, journaling prompt. Here's another journaling prompt. How much money have you spent on your coaching certification, on learning about your coaching field, on your qualifications, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have spent money on learning how to coach in your area of expertise. And I encourage you to actually sit down and list out the total. That will start to probably blow your mind a little bit, right? When you start to think about how much you've invested in learning your coaching area of expertise. The money you spent on coach training, mastering your field, etc., that all becomes a part of what you now charge. You have invested in yourself so that now you are a better coach who can charge more. Right? I'll give you another analogy. You go to a hair salon. They have different hairstylists, different levels. A level 1 hairstylist, a level 2 hairstylist, a master hairstylist, right? The higher levels they've had more training. So therefore, they've got a different price point, okay? My gosh, as a business coach, I have spent upwards of $100,000 on learning my craft so I can teach to my clients, so I can show up with more expertise for my clients. I want you to think about it. How much have you invested from a financial standpoint in your area of expertise, in your coach training? I'm even talking about I'm looking at my bookshelf, books, right? What books have you read? on your craft, all the money that you've got invested into getting good at your craft. Like it's very likely you've spent money on elements of your coaching you don't even remember. Okay. So again, this is helping to lock in that money mindset when you're like, oh, how can I charge that? Well, wait a second, right? You've spent thousands, some people tens of thousands, some people 100,000, right? On learning your craft. You're an expert at your craft. And guess what? Over time, as you continue to invest more time and money on your craft, your rates will increase, right? Just like every other field. Journaling prompt, the next journaling prompt number 5. How much time, we talk about a financial investment, how much time have you invested into getting where you're at now? How much time have you invested into getting to where you're at now? We talked about money, let's talk about time. Time is even more important than money invested, right? Time is the most valuable asset we have. So when you're thinking about, can I really charge this much with coaching? Think about the time you invested in getting good at your craft. How much time did you spend in coach training, right? And that might include coaching pro bono clients. And by the way, not just the time you've spent in coaching, it's very highly likely, right? With my clients, most of them coming from a corporate background or some kind of a full-time role, it's very likely you've spent time in your niche even before coaching, right? I talked about how I was in the field of corporate communications at different Fortune 500s for over a decade. And what I learned in those roles, right, in creating communication for the masses, right, inspiring consumers to take action from using words and marketing to do that, I've taken that with me into my role as a business coach to help my clients market themselves. Okay, so think about your niche and think about how much time you've spent on becoming an expert in that field, even beyond your coach training. Last but not least, I'll give you one more journaling prompt, and then we're going to end with the last topic. So this journaling prompt, which you guys, again, I'm preaching to the choir here. Why? Why is it important for you to achieve a coaching business, right, that replaces your 6-figure corporate income, right? So again, like I said, many of my clients, I run the corporate to 6-figure coach academy. I've got all these clients coming from the corporate world. I've got people, in these 6-figure corporate jobs, 100K, 200K, 300K, whatever. And they need to replace or exceed their corporate income. But the question is why, right? And it's not just about the money. It's about becoming a coach, fulfilling that mission, doing what we love, what we're passionate about, leaving our legacy. So you've got to lock into your why, lock it in. Why is it important for you to achieve that 6-figure coaching business? And then keep digging. You're going to give yourself an answer. This is why. And then I want you to ask yourself why again. I want you to keep digging deeper and deeper. Every time you list a reason, this is why, I again want you to ask yourself why. And why is that important? This is why. And why is that important? This is why. Ask yourself why at least 3 times. Dig deep into your why. Okay, that one is important to know. And I would love to hear, even for those of you watching the replay, drop into the chat, why is it important for you to build out this coaching business that replaces your corporate income? And I want you to read that why and all of these journaling prompts. Read it every day. Read it every day. Read it every morning before your feet hit the ground. Strengthen that money mindset so you can get behind your price. These journal prompts are meant to help you strengthen your money mindset so you can get behind your price. Last but not least, exercise number 4, money mindset affirmations. I've got a couple to give you to get you started with. And again, speaking of things I want you to review before your feet hit the ground, let's talk about some morning affirmations, some morning money mindset affirmations. So here's the instructions. Create a list of money affirmations that will put you in the right headspace to feel confident about raising your rates, charging what you're worth. Okay? Here are a couple to get you started, and I want you over time to continue to add to this list and read it out loud every morning. And certainly before, you talk to somebody about joining, working with you. And I'm not even kidding. As I think about these, and for me, when I read some of these affirmations, I like to say them out loud. I don't care who's around, right? So I want you, if you're here watching this with me live or on the replay, repeat this back to me, and with feeling, right? Like you mean it. So the first affirmation is, the only limits that exist are the ones you put there. The only limits that exist are the ones you put there. If you are selling an hourly rate or a lower rate than you should be, you have placed an invisible limit in front of yourself. You've put that there. Nobody else. The only limits that exist are the ones you put there, right? Affirmation number 2. If my clients have more skin in the game, they are more likely to show up to do the work that it takes to achieve their goals. If my clients have more skin in the game, if somebody works with you for free and somebody else is paying, whatever, pick your price, $10,000 to work with you, who do you think is more likely to show up to do the work, to put in the effort? Think about it, okay? The clients that have more skin in the game are more likely to show up and do the work that it takes to achieve their goals, right? They are more likely to achieve their goals, right? You're doing them a service. Affirmation number 3, I will not put my beliefs or my judgments around money, my money stories. I'm not going to put my beliefs or judgments around money onto others. I'm not putting my money stories onto others, right? I'm not putting my beliefs or judgments around money onto others. Other people's finances are none of my business. Get your head out of other people's wallets. Oh, they can't afford it. How do you know? How the heck do you know, right? Do not put your money, beliefs, judgments, or stories onto other people. Affirmation number 4, in order for me to help as many people as possible, I need to stay in business. In order for me to stay in business, I need to charge sustainable rates to support my family. Got to keep the lights on, right? In order for me, if our mission, right, our mission is to help as many people as possible, we got to stay in business, guys, or that's not going to happen. Number 5, affirmation number 5, I do not charge by the hour because my coaching is valued at so much more than just that hour of coaching, right? I want you to remember, clients are paying for the total accumulation of all the time and money that you've spent so far in honing in on your expertise. Clients are paying for you streamlining and curating information for them, and for shortening the time that it would take for the client to figure out how to do this for themselves, if they would ever figure out how to do it on their own. And 3, clients are paying for not just an hour of coaching, right? They're also paying for the time that you spend preparing for that call. And then after the call, perhaps you're sending them homework or training or worksheets, right? So I want you guys to, again, think about a powerful money mindset affirmation that resonates with you. And I want you to commit to saying it out loud each and every morning. One last thing I like to do above and beyond these affirmations that are so powerful, and you can add to that list whatever resonates with you. I love giving my clients a playlist of my favorite money mindset meditations, guided meditations to do each morning. All right. I hope today you found it super valuable. I hope that you take these exercises and you start to do these regularly. And I hope you own your value. And I hope you charge your worth. All right. Get behind your rates. Get behind your rates. If you're ready to build a six-figure coaching business, click the link near this video. Let's see here. I'll drop it in for you guys in the chat as well. There's a couple different options for you. You can click the link to book a call with me. There's a little form to fill out, and then it will send you over. If your application is accepted, it'll give you a link to book a call with me. So I dropped that into the chat. Or if you are ready to jump in and knock out your niche, your messaging, your positioning, you can check out that link. You can book that session with me. There's a price point attached to that page. You can submit payment and away we go. So I dropped those into the comments. But one thing's for sure, don't just listen to these lives, right? Take action. Take action. Let's get behind it. All right. Catch y'all next week. We are back to our regularly scheduled programming Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place in the Build a Six-Figure Coaching Business Facebook group, same time. Bye, guys. Have a great week.